just heard from Brandon Lewis. He says he's got full confidence in the Sue Gray report, despite the allegations in the Sunday Times this morning. Do you?
Well, I have to say the one person that sadly we don't have confidence in is the Prime Minister. We now know because of that report that he repeatedly lied to Parliament, and his response, as we've seen over the last just couple of days, has been to try and actually change the rules that he will then be judged by, because he's seeking to water down the ministerial code. That's the big issue here, and that's what Labour's focused on, because for as long as we have Boris Johnson at the head of government currently, we actually aren't seeing many of the big issues being gripped onto by the Conservatives. That government continues to be in chaos, and ultimately working people are paying the price.
At the same time, though, you're talking there about how Boris Johnson's tried to change the ministerial code that he'll be judged by. It is important to say, though, isn't it, that the most serious offences, so misleading Parliament, what Boris Johnson has been investigated for, that would still be a resignation issue. So he wouldn't necessarily benefit himself from the changes that he's making.
Well, unfortunately, he has not resigned. I mean, ultimately, that is a sanction that's in the existing.
Found guilty yet, has he?
He has not applied it. Well, I think most people would draw their own conclusions, frankly, seeing what's in.
It'd be a bit strange for him to resign before the investigation's completed.
Repeated denials. Well, ultimately, I think you're seeing many Conservative MPs themselves having taken that decision. Not enough of them, I would say. But when it comes to the reform of the ministerial code, I think the difference is very, very clear. You've got Boris Johnson having removed the words integrity, accountability, honesty, even from the foreword to that code. As I say, he has watered down the sanctions. It used to be previously the case that any breaking of the ministerial code would be a resignation issue. Now there are other sanctions that have been put in there, even just apologising, where surely that would be the very first thing that we would expect. That's not a sanction, that's just what ministers should do as a function of course if they're found to have broken the rules. So we will be forcing a vote on this. We think that ultimately politics should be clean, they should be a force for good. We should have all politicians held to high standards. That's why we're calling for that vote.